Okay, and we are live, which is always great, of course. So, tonight we are going to have our second Chessable course review and learning session. And tonight is going to be special because now Barland will laugh again. I'm trying to pronounce his name because International Master Barland Nudge Hijazi is going to join us. And Barland, hello, how are you?
Hello, welcome guys, and I hope you'll enjoy. I'm laughing with Jan, and at the end of our streaming session, probably he will learn how to pronounce my name. So yeah,
Yeah, I hope so too. So,
I saw a small progress. So congrats, Jan.
yeah.
It was good,
It's probably good.
acceptable.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a running joke because I will always ask at the start of our streams, can you please pronounce your name? So, how is it pronounced again, Barland?
Basically, I don't want to tell you that is you will next time learn. You was better today. That was much better. So you have progress. I'm just giving you a chance, like in chess. So
Okay, super
we can go
nice.
on. Yeah.
Alrighty, so then we are going straight into the course. What is it about today? Um, we have to, of course, do a little overview. It is called Oh No, My Queen. I am Eric Rosen's Dirtiest Stalemates and Traps. It is not by I am Eric Rosen himself, it is by Dodgy Publishing. And so far, it got a 4.5 stars review out of 207 Chessable users. It's a free course and you can get it. I already clicked on get the free course, so it shows now as owned. And yeah, before we really start, I check in my streaming software if everything can be seen well. It looks like it. Yes, looks good. So, why did I choose this course? Because I play in the Lead Chess Bundesliga with the Chess Dojo team, and I experience very often that I am unexperienced in, well, losing positions, I'd say. And sometimes I think I probably could have do some tricks or so, or at least go for a stalemate. And I hope, of course, that this is going to improve me in this area of the game. And honestly, I don't expect this will help me a lot for classical games, but maybe I'm proven wrong. We don't know. So, what is this course about? Let's see. Yeah, Dodgy Publishing, they're huge admirers of tricks and swindles. So they are inspired by I am Rosen to create this course based on many of his greatest moments in chess. So I believe um, the problems we are going to see, the positions are from Eric Rosen himself, from his games. And yeah, the course is supposed to teach us the dirtiest tricks, the sneakiest traps, and the nastiest oh no, my queen tricks to save a losing position with stalemate. Okay, so also use the clock as a stalemating weapon is part of the course. And there is, I suppose, a famous Rosen Trap. And we learn how to use it against our opponents. And so um, yeah, I have no clue what we are going to see. The course is recommended for intermediate players, advanced players. I think I'm more a beginner player. Ballant always says I'm still a chess baby, but yeah, we'll see how that goes if I'm able to solve some of the puzzles. So, Ballant and I, we didn't talk a lot about how this session is going to be. My thought is I give my thoughts about the position and then log in my winning move. And Balint will say, Jan, you can improve your thought process here or there. Or if I'm stuck and I have no clue like what to do and I don't see anything on the board, then Balint can probably jump in. That's what
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think.
Okay, Jan. Yeah, yeah. I can play my part.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty, very nice.
All right,
And
let's see where the problem starts.
alrighty, so we also don't know how long this stream is going to be
Mhm.
because let's take a look here. It says the language is English, which is good. The instruction has 6,409 words. We have trainable variations 84 and informational variations 7. So I don't believe that we are going through all the variations tonight. Um, Unless I'm super witty today and super intelligent and see everything right away, then we are done in like half an hour. But I doubt that highly. The course is from 2022. And yeah, with that, I think we can just start. Yeah, one more thing. When I'm trying to solve the puzzles, I'm not looking at chat. I only look at chat usually if I'm out of thoughts, need help, or just put in a move. So, yeah, with that, we can really start now. I click on learn and we see what's coming up. Sometimes I have to check what you guys will be able to see. So to me, this all looks good. And we start with a reading. And as this course has no video, I really going to read the text. It's like a book with positions. So also a reading exercise here. And so you're in for a treat. Let's get tricky. Hope is a good thing, maybe the best of the things, and a good thing never dies. Andy Dufresne? I don't know how the last name is pronounced here. Okay, so I am Eric Rosen is beloved in the chess world for his endearing nature and entertaining content. But don't let that fool you. He is a tenacious fighter on the board. With the resume of tens of thousands of online blitz and bullet games, it's known that he's willing to do the unthinkable to scrape half a point. At least it was unthinkable until now. Are you tired of that hopeless feeling that comes after your opponent deviates on move 6, landing you in a lost position without counterplay? Welcome to Oh No, My Queen, I Am Eric Rosen's Dirtiest Stalemates and Traps, where you too can learn to flip games upside down at the drop of a hat. I really need that. So, we have a vulgar chess content disclaimer. The contents of this course include graphic, brutal, and even shocking depictions of I Am Eric Rosen's cold-blooded and results-driven chess moves. This course is not for the faint of heart, so this is also good for Halloween, yeah, or those chess purists who evaluate moves based on their objective merits. This course is for the adrenaline junkies, the con artists, and the blitz addicts who prefer to maximize the number of chairs thrown across rooms by their opponent rather than their rating. I think this is written in a very funny way. Okay, so imagine the chapters of this course describe a different type of chess crime, the incidents of which are the puzzles where Eric's ruthlessness are on full display. Rest assured, Rosen's victims' personal identities are protected under the cover of their respective online tags, and that nobody was physically harmed in the making of these stalemates and swindles. I love it how they write it. Okay, so, however, stalemates aren't only an online phenomenon, as seen in this game, which took place in St. Louis. What is stalemate anyway? Okay, for the beginners here, let's read through it. 102 king f6, which means the king goes from this square to this square. This is stalemate. If we click on it, he moves. Okay. This is stalemate. This is a very common position which incidentally occurred after 102 moves in a friendly online game between GM Hikaru Nakamura and I Am Eric Rosen in 2021. The black king is not in check. Nope. Yet black has no legal moves. These are the two conditions necessary for stalemate to occur. Let's repeat that. The black king is not in check, and black has no legal moves. Let's check. Black cannot go to e8 because of the pawn, cannot go to e7 because of the king, cannot go to g8, cannot go to g7, and cannot take the pawn because it's protected by the king. So those are the conditions necessary for stalemate to occur. Usually the side that is stalemated is happy to escape with a draw from what is usually a losing position, sometimes extremely losing. Yeah. And I believe we all had this feeling that in Blitz online bullet games, there is a majority of pieces against you, and the opponent, well, sometimes they have like really small time, sometimes they have a huge amount of time less, but just get careless. And the computer shows stalemate, and you don't laugh yourself to death, but you're just happy that you won that half point, of course. And if it happens to me, I also believe that it happened to all of us, that we feel bad if we put somebody in stalemate. Okay, so stalemate comes in many forms, but most frequently when material is reduced towards an endgame. Sometimes stalemate can be forced by the losing side through a sacrifice, but equally often the winning side sprints confidently into it. However, even in these cases, there are certain tricks and techniques you will pick up in the course to help coax your opponent into stalemating you. Be sure to stick around for the final chapter where Eric graces us with some epic queen sack mates. So grab a shovel and dig yourself out of the dirt with I am Eric Rosen. Alright, Balint, I hope you liked the introduction. I thought it was written in a
Of course,
really
I'm listening. It's
nice and
all.
humorous way.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's very important to explain what actually stalemate is, and that was I believe completely necessary. So good work.
Alrighty, so we continue. Introduction is done, and we go into it says into a noble sacrifice. We'll see. Continue. So congratulations, we finished the first chapter, the introduction, and we need to click on next variation. So it says a noble sacrifice. It is well established the queen is the most valuable, powerful, and influential unit in the chess army. But sometimes it's necessary to send her into the thick of battle and in the blaze of glory, sacrifice her for checkmate. This is not that. We will see examples of that in the final chapter. What we will witness here is slightly less glorious in that the demise of the queen leads to forced stalemate and a drawn game. This is in contrast to the Rosen Trap or some examples in time scramble stalemates where a queen sacrifice can lead to an unforced stalemate. Even though the result is peaceful, it can be a satisfying way to flex on your opponent, who has probably been outplaying you all game to that point. Successful execution will result in more tilt than the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Tips: always start by analyzing checks and captures, as these are forcing moves most likely to lead to stalemates. This is broadly true for all phases of the game, though you're probably wasting your time to be looking for stalemates in the middle game. Yes. Since we are talking about queen sacrifices, odds are we are looking for queen moves. Calculate all of the opponent's possible replies and double check that it is actually stalemate once the queen is off the board. Okay, thank you for the tips. Completed, next variation, and here we finally have our first position. It was a game between I am Manito de Plomo and I am Eric Rosen, Lead Chess 2019. White's last move is a huge blunder, allowing a forced sequence to draw. What's our plan? Okay, so I believe I'm black. Again, here, yes, black to play. And yeah, I think as it's about stalemate, we have to see what's happening here. Okay, so I'm black and I need a stalemate. Okay, here our king is already in stalemate. Cannot move here, cannot move here, cannot move here, cannot move here, cannot move here. The pawns cannot move. So if the queen is off the board, oh, time's out. So I need to set the time for not showing us the move. That was bad. Okay, in the last course this didn't happen, so I need to check where do I, in the settings probably, piece animation, brown, learn, stop for intro text, wait, time up action, controls what happened when the timer has run out. Yeah, I just like to stop the timer, then we shouldn't have that happening. Okay, so that's okay now. Okay, so this already showed us the solution.
Just small help, Jan. Somewhere up, you have stopped the stop timer. Okay.
Okay, yeah, I think we should be good now with that.
I think this is interesting position because I believe Queen C3 is not the only move which provide that story where you are sacrificing your queen and making a stalemate. The big fact here is, as you can see, the other pieces, the pawns are cannot be moved forward, and king also doesn't have any available square, so just sacrifice queen. Probably queen a3 or queen e1. Also queen c3 as was the move in this position, provides that chance to sacrifice your queen on g3 or some dark squares, and king doesn't have some available square to hide. At the end we can give a check and take the bishop, and that is also that can force him to take our queen back with draw effects with stalemate.
Oh, alrighty. Okay. So, thank you for that explanation. And I believe it's alternative moves. That's what it's called in Chessable. So, if there is not one single move that is possible, yeah, then it shows usually alternative moves, and it's not wrong then. So we'll see how that goes through the course here. Okay, so here we click on next, and now I need to repeat that move here, and then it will ask us for the next move, of course. So, and now you already know what to do, and I obviously don't. I have to see what's happening. So I need to sacrifice my queen. How do I do this? I go to g3, and well, he could run away, I believe.
Try to focus on king. The 9 squares are around him. Also that square where he's in this moment on g4. So where he can go, where you can give him a check, and how you will force him to take your lady.
Yeah. So yeah. First, I'd like to see the timer running out, and it just stops. Nothing happens. Okay, that's all right then. I would probably go for g3, so he has only h5 and f5. And then I can probably go for g4. But g4 is not good because the queen can just take. So yeah, I probably just go to h4 and then force him down to the king side. That would be my plan. Let's see if that is correct, Barland. I go here.
As I said.
Yes. So the register.
The point is you will sacrifice your queen, and the mental problem in this position is black king is out of space and no squares. So
yes. Correct. So this is all good. Sweden draws the game 2, and as you said, Barland, here Also good would be queen f3 check and queen h3 check. Yeah. So there are always more moves that are good. Okay. So king goes here or king goes there. And then we have here the need for him to take. And so that is all good. Alrighty, so we solved the first puzzle, as I would call it. Yeah. And yeah, we go straight to the next variation. Okay. So I don't always read who he played and so on. We just read the text. Eric finds a resource in the position that ultimately still loses, but forces white to make the correct move. What does he play? So it's black to play. And I again go to check. So the first thing I check is what is happening with our king. He cannot move to the third rank. And he cannot take the pawn, and he cannot go to a5, and he cannot take the pawn. So basically, without the rook and the queen, he would be in stalemate.
Sorry, and to interrupt you. Just to add, yesterday I was on the second league, Serbia second league, and one interesting similar game was on the board. And usually we have that king is stuck on a4 in this situation. He found some shelter and some cover, but he doesn't have available squares. So it is really easy to checkmate him there, and all the time you have to protect him. Or sometimes we have this tricky story about stalemate. So yeah.
Okay, so it happens quite often, you say, right?
Yeah, it happens because of some positions like b4, and maybe he cannot go down. So like choice was to go up and find some shelter there on a4 between white pawns.
Okay, so I would try to lose the rook and the queen, and I would probably start by, let me check, g3. Rook takes g3. And does he need to take? What could be his reply?
Just one hint. Try to see. Okay, you said your first few move, and that is rook g3. So try to check options for him. Can he run away with the king? Can he take with the pawn, queen, or king? And that's it. So maybe through that concept you will reduce some wrong variation, and you can reduce the percentage to make a wrong move.
Yeah, my idea here would be, of course, if I take, then I'm attacking his king and the queen. So if he doesn't take my rook, I can take his queen.
Exactly. So basically, that story when king goes somewhere doesn't work because the queen is under pressure. So basically, you are reducing the moves for the opponent, and you can calculate further what is going on. So
he needs to take either with the king, pawn, or queen.
Exactly.
And whatever he takes, or whatever he does, I can do the same with the queen then. Yeah, like going to either f3 or taking f2, and we have the same thing.
So, no, it's you must be really careful.
The rook is protecting the queen.
what is necessary? What is necessary for our king to stay in stalemate? Very important fact. So complete definition. What is necessary for our king to stay in that trap?
Yeah, it's the queen on E. Ah, I
Third
forgot. I
rank.
forgot that. Yes, yes, you're right. Yeah, yeah,
So you have to
yeah.
be careful with
Mm-hmm.
some ideas like queen f2. You'll give him a chances
Mm-hmm.
to move his queen and give you a space on the third rank.
Then my next idea would be queen f3.
Mhm.
So queen f3.
Define, please, Jan, define first move. You said rook g3.
Mm-hmm.
We just saw that, and we are skipping some. Uh, Probably we are speaking about second move. Rook g3, for example, he has to take king g3, f g3, and queen e3. Queen g3.
Say that again. Sorry.
And sorry, when you take his knight,
Mm-hmm.
so he have three choices. Probably the easiest part and the best way is to go with the easiest one. So what is going on if he take with a pawn?
Then I can just go queen f3.
You can go queen
Okay.
f3
Mm-hmm.
or you can go queen
Mm-hmm.
f1. Even deeper,
Check. Yes, would also work.
and
Yes.
queen
Mm-hmm.
h1. Completely, you will not have any contact with the queen, with the
Mm-hmm.
white queen e3. So ignore her. That happens with the pawn.
Mm-hmm.
Go forward. What is going on with the queen and king story?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, so
Yeah.
I believe that is a nice solution to take the knight on g3. That should work in any case. I just need to be careful with the queen that I don't take on f2 because then I would be out of stalemate.
Wait a sec.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a sec. This actually, I'm a little bit worried about this. So it's
Yes, me too, because what happens if he takes with the queen? So I
easy.
take the rook, rook takes f3, he takes
Mm-hmm.
with the queen, and
Mm-hmm.
then I have no chance to check him, and the queen staying on the third rank. And if I
Exactly.
go to f3, he could take with the king, and then
Bravo.
it's not good. Ah,
If
true,
you
true,
take
true.
on f2, if you
Mm-hmm.
take on f2,
Mm-hmm.
then
He just takes with the queen or king.
yeah, hands
Mm-hmm.
break. He can break that.
Okay,
Hmm.
then my next idea is really, I still think that f3 with the queen is really nice. But is that true? Let's take a look. So if I go to f3 with the queen, check and attack on the queen. But the queen is well protected. Yeah. So if the king then goes away, does that make sense at all? Hmm. Balint, this is
This
trickier than I thought, by the way.
this is tricky,
Mm,
tricky. Yeah,
mm,
exactly.
okay.
Really, really tricky.
Okay, so I'll check everything here now. So I take with the rook on f3. We first check the king. So if he takes with the king, I'm good because I can take with the, can then give a check on with the queen on f3. That would do the trick, I think. Will it? Check. Then here. Check. But he doesn't have to take with the queen. and he doesn't have to take with the king. Well, yeah, he could just move the king to h2, and then, well, then it's still okay, because then I just go queen g2, and he has to take. Otherwise, yeah, so, okay. So that is on our right thing. So, and Barlind, I don't know about you, but usually I get tired thinking of the position and just move to see what happens. And
Yeah.
mm,
That is
mm, mm,
what you need to dodge, because that
and
struggle gives you a chances. But yeah, that wish to know,
mm,
that wish for knowledge is
yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely.
even stronger.
Uh-huh. So
Okay.
I still try. So again, um, rook takes g3. Then, if he takes with the king, I can simply go to f3. If he runs away with the king, I can always check him, and he needs to take with the king. Queen is still staying on the third rank. I'm good. So I think taking with the king is all right. But what happens if he runs away? So if he goes to king f1, for example, I would, or
I'm really sorry, Jan, but the rook g3, queen g3, I don't see the move. You see the move?
you mean
After rook the queen g3, what to do with the black pieces?
you mean f3 with the queen?
No, I mean rook g3, queen g3.
Rook g3. Queen oh, if he takes with the queen, okay.
If he
So
takes queen, yeah,
okay. So
I
then,
cannot find the good solution.
yeah, me neither. So if we can rule out one solution, then we don't have to pursue thinking about that move we had. So I understand that rook takes g3 is not good, because simply the queen can take and
Let's
we're out of a solution. Okay, understand. Hmm?
Eric finds resources in this position that
Hmm.
ultimately still losses, but forces white to make the correct move.
What does he play? Okay. So, maybe we're looking for something wrong then here. Maybe it's not a stalemate if he says that ultimately still loses.
I think
Okay.
ultimately this is still lost
Mm.
position for black pieces, because I thought about queen a2 or something. Basically, the next move for white is queen b3, and we need to stop that. How to stop queen b3
Mm.
check? That is the only way to give a check on g3, queen g3, or queen f2. Queen f2 doesn't work. Follow up with rook f2. That doesn't mean a lot. Uh, King e2, and he can hide himself. No way to sacrifice the last piece, that is rook.
Mm.
And on rook g3 have a sense, and after queen g3, that is, I believe, still lost position, but I don't know. I
Okay.
don't know what to say.
Yeah. So I really then by your information that well, in this position that ultimately still loses, I'm not sure what to look for. So.
Yeah, that is strange.
Mm.
Probably in the game was some incorrect move for white or
Mm.
something, but I think still, as I said, we'll
Yeah.
see. We'll see. Maybe rook g3, or I what else? Queen
Yeah.
f3. Of course, you will take with the king.
Mm.
Wait a sec. Can we have
Mm.
some chances? Queen f3. The problem is king will take. Oh, wait, queen f3. Oh, interesting. That is solution. Queen f3, right? Queen f3.
Mm.
King takes. Rook g3. King e2. Ah,
Yeah,
still doesn't work.
yeah. I'm balanced. I'm at this moment at a point where I say I just move something to see what happens.
Okay,
So,
bravo.
and I go with my first intuition that was the rook takes the knight. So we see. It was correct. Otherwise, he would have said something when I moved it. Okay, and now what? Mm, yeah, now as you said, probably queen f1. It's an alternative move. Okay.
Now it's simple.
Now it's simple.
Queen f1, of course.
Yeah, I just did that, but he said it's an alternative move, so there must be another move. So, what does he think?
What is the other move?
Uh,
Keep his queen. Give a check and keep his queen on the third rank.
yeah, I also think that f1 is the best here. But probably they think something of f3 or f2.
No, the difference is between f3 and f2.
Yeah, he just takes with the queen and we're lost. But
So, if we are precise,
yeah.
probably
So I
no
would
mistake.
probably go here and see if that's correct. Okay, that was a correct move. And now, can I just take?
Still
No.
lost. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So we didn't read. I didn't read about at the beginning.
Yeah, it says ultimately still loses. But here I would
Still,
still go f1.
or now
It's an
just force.
alternative move, yes. I can go here. Okay. So
Just
let's
keep her.
yeah, just read the text so we see what happens. So what does he play? He played rook takes g3. The position is still bust, but white has to be accurate to avoid any possibility of a surprise. F takes g3. The wrong way to recapture. Only queen takes g3 maintained the winning position. Yeah, that's what we calculated.
Exactly.
Okay, so now I understand. So it is not about stalemates, but also about traps for stalemates. Or
Options to make
mm,
that. I had that
mm,
similar position. I was lost against weaker player, and I was shocked. But anyway, at the end, I saved my energy to prepare some trap where I'm sacrificing a queen
mm,
and forcing a stalemate. That is the last hope. This is kind of that last hopes.
yeah. Okay, I understand now way better. Probably also good for more positions that are coming up. Okay, but have
Hmm
you worked out the stalemate? So, queen f3. Oh no, Eric's queen. Yes. So, king g1. White really doesn't want to take his queen. Of course, because then it's stalemate. So queen g2, so we leave them with no choice. King g2, and we have the stalemate. Okay, so now I understand better, I think, what the course is wanting from us. Alrighty, so that's
to
of
be
course.
better informed and prepared for some options and possibilities like this. Also
Yes.
to be capable how to dodge or predict some traps if you are
Mm-hmm.
completely winning. Be
Yeah.
careful. Maybe you have over control, too
Yeah.
much control over uh, his king and squares where he can step up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good one.
Okay, next one. White's last move is a huge mistake, and Eric can force a draw. Okay, so again, we already have stalemate if the queen is off the board. and I need to get rid of my queen. So my idea here is g2. It's check and attacking the queen. If he doesn't take my queen, I take his queen. So to me that seems the best move. And I just go and you move queen g3. Oh no, our queen. Queen g1 also works, but queen g2 doesn't. What does he say? Queen g1 also works, but queen g2 plus doesn't.
Queen g2 doesn't work.
But why not?
Because he will take with the queen.
Oh,
And no
I'm so
stalemate.
stupid. I'm so stupid.
He will break
Yes.
that.
I totally forgot that. Yes, you're right. Okay. So, yes, then let's see. So, we're going next. I'm now going to play this move here. Well, I tried G1, G1, but it didn't say it's correct. So here, oh well, it worked. No, it didn't. Okay, hold on. So
At the end, Jan again try to make that cage around the king squares. So 3 times 3 square around him, and you need to see where in which direction you will push him. Maybe a particular side or something to block his exit. That is the important thing what you have to do. Of course, G2 was a blunder, so
yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. So
yeah, it happens, of
yeah.
course.
So I really have no experience in this stalemating business. So we really have to see. So if
So
G.
focus,
Mm-hmm,
as I said, just focus on the king. Basically,
mm-hmm,
you have just one worry, and that is how to sacrifice your queen on how to sell your queen on the best way.
yeah.
Seems really strange, but
Mm-hmm,
crazy. And basically, you need to chase his king, blocking some options. Of course, he will run away from her immediately when she step
mm-hmm.
somewhere close to him.
Yeah,
And
he doesn't want to
basically,
take. Yeah.
of course, and you
Okay.
have zigzag maneuvers. Also, what and where you have to be careful. Do not move her,
Mm-hmm.
his queen. Do not move her from
Okay.
c6. And also, at one moment, he'll be in trouble because he cannot step, for example, on e4.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that story. So
Okay. Mm-hmm.
when you chase the king, he cannot step on e4 because that diagonal check.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Good luck with this chase.
Okay. So I try queen goes g3. He has f1 and e2 left. If he goes to f1, I simply go to f2 check and he needs to take. Is forced to take. Okay, so if he goes to e2, then if he goes to e2, then what do I have? I cannot go to f3 because the queen would take. And if I go to f2, he can escape to d3. Otherwise, my d2 would give him a check if he's on d1. So he needs to go to d3. And if he goes to d3, I would love to go to c2, but the queen is on the c file, so that doesn't work. I go here. G2, G3, E2, F2. He goes to D3. And then if I go, for example, to D2, he has only E4 or C4. And if he goes to E4, what can I do? It looks like he can escape. Barland, I think I have lack of visualization and calculation skills, so I will just try G3 and see to go from there. So that was correct. Okay, and now I can go here, and we are good. So I wonder what they say if he goes to E2, because that was not given. Okay, so we had that queen. White's last move is a huge mistake. G3. Oh no, our queen. 1 G1 also works, but queen G doesn't. Okay, we had that already. King goes to F1. White's pretty reluctant to take the queen. If king E2, as I said, it's queen E1, king D3. That's what I calculated. Now it's queen.
It's cool when you are leaving him without available squares, or instead of 2 or 3 options, you are giving him just one, forcing him in one direction. That is first and has priority.
Okay.
Where we are spending the time to calculate.
Yeah, okay.
But queen c3, very cool.
Okay, but if queen c3, we already have the stalemate. Again, stalemate. Okay. So, but what we don't see is what happens if he goes to e4. Then I just take the queen.
The power, exactly, the power of that queen c3, or I mentioned that he cannot go on e4 at some moment.
Ah, nice. I understand now. Yes.
Queen is hanging, so you will take the queen and win the game. Pick the pawns.
Okay, now I understand. Okay, it's yeah, it's nice with the queen on the C file. Okay. So, all right. So next time I try not to blunder right away with such an easy move. So, okay.
It's okay.
So, okay. So Black's last move was a mistake that allows an unstoppable queen sacrifice for the stalemate. How do we set it up? Okay, so this time we are white to play. And first again, I'll check. We cannot move the pawns. The king cannot take, cannot move, so we need to get rid of the queen. That is my first check here. Okay, so my first idea would be queen d4. It gives a check and it attacks the king. What happens if he goes away with the king, I can take the rook. If he takes my queen, it's a stalemate. Okay, so what are the other moves? He could protect with the rook to e5. And if he does that, I can still take the rook. And again, we have a stalemate position. Okay, so... So my intuition would say D, without calculating everything through, is D4 with the queen.
When you pick your first view move,
Mm-hmm.
and when you are following your intuition with the queen d4, try to give the best option and push yourself and find the best move for black.
Okay.
In that case, you can probably uncover some ideas connected for the future moves and future alternatives. So when you find that, oh, queen d4, my intuition telling me that, try in that moment, try to push yourself to find the best or some amazing move for defense. That is the way how you will make a serious progress
Okay.
about any task.
Okay. So if you go d4, he is in check. So there are ways to go out of check. If he goes out of the check with the king, I can take his rook. So this probably doesn't make sense. Then he can put something in between or take. If he takes, I'm stalemate, so running away with the king and taking is not an option. So he has to put something in between, and he has several options here. And one option, of course, is the pawn on the f file. So f6, I still take the rook, so not a good option for him. Next move would be e5. Same thing, I just take the rook. And then we have two options with the rooks. He could go rook e4 to e5. I take the rook, he takes, and it is still stalemate. And if he goes from g5 to e5, I can still take the rook on e4, and if he retakes, it's still stalemate.
Actually, I found solution, but I really enjoy in your struggle, and I laugh like
Thank you, Valid.
so
Okay, so
we
but
support
I
maximally support you
uh,
to tell you something wrong and laugh
yeah,
in
sure,
front
no
of
worries. Yeah. So, but I really think I didn't overlook something.
you.
I think.
Overlook something, and your calculation after that must be more precise, because in one moment you said stalemate, but it's not.
It was not. Okay, let's check again, probably with the rooks. So,
Check again.
if the rook here from e4 to e5, and I take the rook, I can take the, yes, I can take the pawn with the king, and
And you
it's not
can take,
stalemate. Yes.
and
Mm.
that is what breaks that
Okay, so
stalemate.
yes,
And
yes, correct. Thank you for telling me. So,
before you go very deep in that dark forest, so I will probably have no chance to return you on the right way. So you found that. Okay, let's go further.
Okay, next thing then would be, how about me taking his rook right away? That doesn't make sense. He just takes, I take, and doesn't make sense. So what else? No, again, I need to get rid of my queen.
Exactly.
So how do I do this in the best way?
On the best possible way, yeah.
So
Maybe Eric had some problems with his lady, and he was just, oh no, my lady. He's sacrificing all the time the queen.
yes.
Maybe break with a girl or something who was inspiring to make this study. But it's interesting, really cool study.
Yeah, and to me, Balint, basically, I have to say, I think I never did these kind of positions where I need to get rid of my queen, or really very rarely. So I'm kind of happy that I chose this course here.
Crazy paradox. Maybe we had something similar in the previous tactical studies, but this is some, how to say, some of the this type of positions. It is cool. Okay, sorry, I interrupt you with that. Give you some clue. Let's see. So Queen D4. Let's define and make a conclusion about that. Queen D4, Rook E5 is something.
Yes, so if that happens,
If that
then
happens.
still I can take the. Ah, wait, here he goes there. Okay, if I take, he takes, that's not a good thing. So, if I take. I have no clue.
I'm also. Yeah, I had the wrong direction, but I realize I solved my mistake. Can I
Yeah,
share?
you got it? Okay, please let us know, yes.
Basically, I saw that Queen D4 doesn't work. That was also my first U move, and because of this really unpleasant Rook E5 blocking that diagonal, and basically his next move is Rook H5. Also something forced to take the rook. He will take the queen, and as you said, G4 pawn goes down. So we have the exit for the king. After that move, I just realized, okay, what do we need to do is to play queen b4, basically attacking the rook on e4, and if he protects with f5 or take the queen, basically you can just take the rook or give a check on f8. That is kind of double check, but I completely missed the move rook h5. That is check and in between move. So I have to take with my king, and then you can take the queen for free. After that, that is a third level of thinking. I found the way how to solve this problem. So yes, something what I want is to force to attack his rook or something. I can make a cage against his king. So what is the best and fastest way to sell my queen for free, to give her for between to throw her between the black pieces, is the way queen d8.
Queen d8. Okay.
Queen d8, and nothing happens on the board. You have heavy control over the king, and our king is in stalemate. Basically, the easiest way and plan to find this one. Imagine if you can play the two moves in a row. So queen d8, queen h8.
Checkmate. Yes.
Exactly, checkmate, and he has to take, and that's it. So I'm trying to tell that sometimes play few moves in a row, or something, two moves in a row, and that will give you the strongest possible threat, because you are preparing that checkmate in one, or sometimes checkmate in two, and you are not giving a check and checkmate. You are putting in the unstoppable threat. You are putting your opponent in that situation. So I believe in d8 is something what unstoppable is coming with unstoppable a last rank, back rank idea. No way to stop you, and no exit. With queen d8 you are preventing king f6 exit for black king. I'm sorry, I said too much.
No, I'm good. I'm just checking. So
so this is difficult. Also, this type of positions are forced, like checkmate in two, or something, not check. And the problems about beginner puzzles is every time you know that is a check, and we have the phrase and standard levels how to reach that moment when you will unlock some potential and find the path and idea, because you are using that model and pattern. Let's give a check. So basically I also start with the queen d4 because of that. And going up and up and up further to see what is going on after queen d8. That is almost forced because check is coming with effects that where you need to take lady.
But Balin, my question is still, maybe you already mentioned it, but if I go d8 and he now takes the pawn with the rook, like rook takes h5.
Then you have chances to win the game, because you will take with a king, and your queen is not under pressure like my idea.
Balin, the fun part is I was now so much worried about getting the queen lost. Yeah, that I didn't think of the idea that I will win the game if I take the rook, of course. Yes, sure, because I was still thinking, like, how do I get this stalemate then? But it's not necessary. Strange head inside here, okay, or strange mind, okay. But I get it. All right, so I just make the move, and it's an alternative move. So the program here says there's another move which also works.
So queen d8 works, but it's not the best one.
I don't know if it's the best one. I said expected not to be the best one. Otherwise, I would have shown it right away. But
It's not queen b4. It's not queen d4. What about queen? Wait a sec. Maybe not at all. Even queen c3 doesn't work. Rook e5. Maybe it's not the best way to threat with a check on f8. Maybe does queen d6 change some stuffs? Wait a sec. Queen d5, queen d5, rook e5. No. Oh, can we? No, queen
Yeah. This
queen.
is really tricky, and I'm sorry for making you work so hard, Balint.
It's really tricky. Exactly.
Yeah.
So how?
And just in case he mentioned, so if there is someone in chat who knows the answer, I saw that someone just joined. We are now here, queen to d8 and queen h8 afterwards. So he's forced to take, and we have a stalemate position. So, but if we go to d8, it shows that it's alternative, and there's another move which is the best move. Okay.
Another way to thread something is to click on f7. So can we do queen f2, queen f2 with the same effects?
Let's see.
Maybe, yeah.
That's also an alternative move, so that's a third move, at least. Yeah, then probably d7.
D7 is something what I don't like because of rook f5.
Yes,
And
that's what's played. Okay. Okay. And now.
Whoa. Now not the best move because of rook.
But can't we now still go for the
Yeah, we can.
d8, e8?
No, we can take on f7, right? After rook f5.
Should work. Let's see.
It's the rook on e4 still had protection over g4
Yeah, and
square.
now we just go to g7.
Exactly.
And that was an alternative move, so let's try here. Okay, now we got it. It's completed. Okay, Balint, I'd like to read through all of it. Okay, so queen d7. Black can't stop us taking on f7. Our king won't have any moves if they take, and if they don't, we'll check the king forevermore. Okay, now rook f5. Does this stop us taking on f7? Nope. As Sam Shankland advises us, when our opponent tries to prevent one of our moves, we should ask what happens if we do it anyway. Okay, and that worked. King h8 in this position, if 3 rook takes f7 instead of king takes, it's stalemate. The text move is a blunder. Okay, black's last move was a blunder, but we're actually looking for stalemate in this position. What did Eric play? He played queen h7, of course. Then here achieves the same end. This time the king has no choice but to take our queen. Better was queen g6, after which white's position was winning. However, Eric was in time trouble and focused on the draw, a practical choice, as the two rooks with more time might still be able to hold until our time runs out. Interesting. Not easy at all, I think.
Not easy at all. And the question is, do we have like queen d8 or queen f2 as we mentioned earlier? Maybe it's not forced, but still works. We'll see.
Yes. Yeah, and Hicham, I don't know how it's pronounced in chat. Hicham Anf, Hicham Anf, I don't know, try d1, of course, but you probably meant d8 for giving. I also had the same idea because that was Balin's first move, queen d8, and then bringing it over to h8. Yeah, Balint, would that also would have worked because let's check here. So if we go queen f, if he now brings over the rook, isn't it the same thing if we still bring the queen to the 8th rank and then go over?
Yeah, I think it is, but
Yeah.
he found that solution, or maybe that was the
Yeah.
that was into the game. And anyway, thanks Hicham for the solution. As you can see, we are enjoying together and fighting together.
Yeah.
We have some mistakes during our analysis, but anyway,
Okay.
that
Okay. Very nice. So we just go to the next variation and see if it's easier. Let's see. Combining two of our motives, the pawn move is fatal for black's winning chances, as Eric now spots a dagger that will end the game in a draw. By now, I'm sure you know what to do. Oh, he's very optimistic. Okay, so I'm white to play, and again, this is already stalemate if the queen is off the board. And to me, this looks kind of easy, I'd say.
exactly.
Yeah, h8 with the queen, he needs to take, otherwise it's checkmate.
With the previous, if we compare with the previous, this is a piece of cake.
Yes,
And
let's go.
images.
It's an alternative. Take a look at that.
What is it?
It was an alternative move, so there should be another move which works. So let's find it. The immediate move that comes to my mind is, I don't know. Well, basically it is the queen, the black queen needs to stay on the 3rd rank.
That is just choice A, B, or C, and you have to hit exactly A, B, or C letter to unlock the
Yes, of course. So the queen can go to g8 and f8 because the pawn on g6 takes the escape squares. Okay, so I just try, and this one was correct. Yes, okay.
Some of these will, as I said, we have many solutions. On the first task, I said just give a check and sacrifice your queen.
Yes.
Bothering the king.
Yeah. Balint, can you see me on the screen?
Yeah.
I see everything. Okay, take a good look. Balint, I solved the position. Yes.
Wait, your heart rate.
Alrighty. Okay. So next one. This move is still good for black, but Eric spots a potential stalemate trick here. Can you find it? Okay, this is a potential one, like the one at the beginning, where it doesn't have to work, but it gives him the threat of luring the opponent into a stalemate. Okay, so white to play with a possible stalemate. Okay, the rook down at b2 is giving us the stalemate position, protected by the knight on d3. So, what do we need to do? We need to get rid of the knight and the queen.
Exactly.
How do we do it?
Two easy jobs.
Funny. Okay, so let's see. So, the tip at the beginning. Say it again.
Sacrifice. Give your horse and sacrifice the lady.
Yes, correct. So, and he said always try with checks first.
Standard.
Okay, so again, if I get my queen, it's as exactly the same as in the position before. If I get my queen to f8, g8, h8, it's stalemate. Yeah, because he needs to take with the king, and his escape squares are protected by the g5 pawn. So I only need to get my knight out of the way and need to get it off the board. So how do I do that? Check. I'd say it is knight e6 probably. So what happens? If we go knight e6, then we have a check. So he cannot run away, otherwise the queen will strike. So he has to, well, the thing is with the knight he cannot put something in between, so he has to take. If he takes with the knight, I'm happy because still the queen can strike. Not on f8, but on g8 and h8. And if he takes with the pawn, I can simply go with the queen to g8 and the deed is done. That is my solution, Balint. So it is knight to e6.
As he said, try with a check. So queen is not capable to give check. Knight is cool for that part. We saw in the previous situation, lady can be sacrificed on the g8, f8 or h8. Go on. And very cool geometry, also something to add. Because if king try to avoid this type of checks or after knight e6, you can see the king h7. Did you mention your solution after king h7?
King h7. Yeah, it's the same thing. It's queen h8.
It's then queen h8 and your knight still is there on e6. If you sacrifice your lady first, the knight that. So you to hold that material. Basically, you have some balance with the queen.
You are right.
Last moment you'll give her when he takes your knight, then much easier to be sacrificed. That is the queen, of course. More mobile. Anyway, knight e6, king h7. Think a little bit. I just need some water. Very fast.
Okay. So knight e6, king h7. Then check on f8. Where can he go to? Not here. Yes, 3 squares, like g8, h8, and again g6, g7. So what happens if I take the knight on f4 then? I I take the knight on f4. If he doesn't take my knight, he has to go out of the way with the... Yeah, that might be really good. Because, okay, so he goes h7 and I can take his knight. If he takes my knight, we have a stalemate. If he doesn't take, I can take his knight on d5, and then I still have, well, better chances and win probably. We find what Balin says. Does the chat say something? What is your idea here? Okay, so I think again it's knight e6, king goes h7, and then I take the knight on f4. If he takes, of course, if he retakes, I cannot go with the queen because it's not stalemate afterwards, because I can take the rook.
Is your struggle with...
Hi Valent, hi, you're back again. So I was just thinking about if I go knight e6, he goes king h7, and if I take f4, the knight on f4, that would be a super good move. But what I missed is that if he takes with the knight on d3, yeah, it's not stalemate anymore because I can take the rook with my king.
But then you have decent chances to make a draw. Actually, he'll take that with... actually he'll take that with knight. Maybe he'll take your e5 pawn and crazy endgame. Two pieces, two light pieces, three pawns, and the king against the queen and king.
Yeah,
so
but that would be my choice then. Yes.
Forward with the checks.
Oh, he took. Okay, and now my knight is gone, and I can just do what we said we wanted to do. So it's here, the queen, and hard work pays off. We finished learning the chapter. I love it. Let's take a look through what he said. Okay, so knight e6, white should still be lost, but now if f takes e6, queen, although in this game, being the troll that he is, Eric chose the long-winded queen a7. Okay, king g8. Yeah, it's forced. King g7, and here, yeah, same thing, which works equally as well. But perhaps
one variation here. Instead of knight taking knight e6 or f e6, you can go back at the beginning. King h7. The most interesting variation why I mentioned that is the way how you are giving some checks further. So.
But Balint, are you okay? I go to the engine view and we just take a look at the engine here.
Yeah, it's okay also.
Okay. So we are having -3 now. Yeah. So the engine says, Balint, king h7 the best move here. And now queen a7.
Which doesn't mean a lot, right?
Yeah, nothing's much happening, I think.
Consent, that is not forced. So in this moment,
king g8.
The most practical way is to continue with knight f8, maybe. giving checks and trying to.
Yeah, I try my f4 here. That was the move that I calculated. Yeah, it's still winning for black. Yeah, he says bishop e5 is the best move here, protecting the.
Great.
Okay, it's difficult. It's difficult. It's really difficult. Yeah.
There's a chance for to double check and discover check bishop e5
Yes.
threatening rook. Very cool idea.
Mm. Okay, so that's why he said this move is still good for black, but we have a potential stalemate trick. So without the help of black, we're still lost. Mm. Okay, so then, yeah, as this is finished with the queen, we have piece, sack, stalemates. So let's see. Okay, what does he say? You're in a small passenger airplane flying above the Atlantic. Why is not important? Thank you. What's important is that the fuel tank has sprung a leak and you need to toss all non essentials overboard to preserve enough fuel to make it to land. So I guess that's the analogy. Analogy? Is that an English word? To get rid of all your pieces. Hopefully, you've never had your chess position compared to an impending airplane crash, and hopefully, you never will again, but the point has to be made. Sometimes it's necessary to dispense with your remaining material to create the conditions for stalemate. Eric has an incredible keen eye for this sort of thing, as we will see. So, here we have more tips. Train your mind to understand it's time to start actively searching for stalemate opportunities. I never know. I'm missing the experience. I have no clue. Usually, I always go for winning, and yeah, it rarely comes to my mind that I need.
This is the way how you are winning when you are weaker and in front of where you are facing with that and resignation,
Mm-hmm.
the last tricks and that, as he said, dirtiest stalemates and traps.
Yeah, true. And he says also, without being aware of the possibility, there is no chance to execute it when the moment arises. Yes, true.
So you have to predict and you need to see the final picture. So as I said, try to put the king in some kind of cage and control his route and his movement all the way, and that is the way how we will paint on the board and find that dirtiest possibility and last hope to make stalemate or sacrifice.
Yeah.
Of course, you have to sacrifice everything to keep to end up with just king with a king or maybe some piece, some pinned piece,
Yes.
probably that in next chapters.
Yeah. And while you're speaking of this, Balint, and while it's mentioned here in the book, to me is I already found out that I learned a lot alone by this first chapter. Because usually, as I said, I never look for stalemate opportunities unless they're really, really obvious. Yeah. And for me, it's also tough to find out when should I start looking for that. Yeah. Like, this is something that I believe will come with experience, I hope. Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
basically, you struggle like in your last session with a game. You struggle in some different ways how to continue. You are one pawn down or 2 pawns down. That situation when you are obviously weaker and when you are trying to find the last exit to run away from this position, in that moments the idea about stalemate can be born and you can practically try to arrange that final position final way to stalemate your king and sacrifice everything and unnecessary.
Okay, so once again, the more forcing, the better. Make a conscious effort to pay special attention to moves that you may not consider under normal circumstances. Yeah, for me, that mind switch is so difficult. Okay. If your king is in stalemate, regardless of other material, it's time to sack. If not, it's important to visualize how to arrange for the king to land in stalemate before proceeding with the sacrifice. Okay. Oftentimes, the move which sets up the drawing sacrifice also hangs material elsewhere on the board. In order to notice such sacrifice opportunities, you must not be attached to your remaining pawn's pieces. Again, mind switch. I'd like to keep them, usually. Okay, so we go. And next variation. So this looks, of course, easy, not a lot of pieces on the board. We see. We don't want to give the false impression that stalemates only occur online. This game happened on the board in St. Louis when the difference of activity between the two rooks is striking. Okay, it's black to play for the stalemate.
Yeah, this happens really often, especially in that situation when the opponent have the H or A pawn and push our king until the limit into the corner and last square. So basically, he is trying to protect the pawn and give a check on the back rank. The only problem for him is that fact our king is still mate. So just get rid of your rook and make a stalemate.
Okay, the more forcing, the better. So I think it's probably good to start with a check. So, okay, I need to check conditions also. So I believe the rook on h7, the white rook, needs to stay on the 7th rank.
Exactly.
Okay, and
that fact is super important.
okay, so that usually will tell me. Okay, hold on. So I'm trying to take a look at the final position. Yeah, and then I need to find out how to reach that. So short question, Balin. Do you already know the solution?
Actually, I think I have the solution.
Okay, because I'm clueless so far. Because he can just run with the king all the way. So
actually, you can just delete the last two ranks. So just delete 8th and 7th rank, like no exist, and your job is to sell the rook to, give the rook. That's it. He cannot cross on the 2nd rank because you'll take his pawn. You can take his pawn and giving a check. You can take his rook further, so he can lose the game. And with just simple cannonades of checks, you are forcing his king from the from the 6th to 1st rank without any umbrella and way to cover his king from the checks. Also, very important fact is do not take. He can go zigzag. Probably he will hide himself. He will try to go on a3 and later on b. I'm sorry, I reversed the board. h6 and at the end. So king goes on e5, e4, zigzag f5, g6. At the end, he will end up on some g7 square. And then if you take the pawn, king h8, and what is going on, the other guy is also really possible to win the game with him. So start with the checks. That is pattern.
Oh, see. So I think a6 would probably be all
As I
right.
said, I completely reverse the board, so that is a6, not h.
Yeah. So because that would force the king to go to the 5th rank, but then I would have no clue at all. Like really, I don't know how can I get him into a position where he needs to take my rook.
Just force him to all the time just check, 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 check. Annoying checks. He cannot hide his king. Point.
So if I go rook a6 check, he could go b5. Then
He
I'm
will go
out.
on the 5th rank for sure.
Say it again. Sorry.
He'll go on the 5th rank for sure because rook a6.
Yeah.
He cannot go
So
down.
b5
He cannot
probably.
take
Yes. Then
d5, or d5.
okay. I would go b5 because then I'm out of checks. Then I need to move over with my rook to like g6 or f6, and then I can start giving checks again. But wouldn't that lead to perpetual? I have no clue how to make him take my rook. I really don't know.
Perpetual. He will not take your rook, but in one moment, for example, when he escaped on h3, you that's it. You are making a bridge. The g file is bridge for the king, and rook g3, rook g2, rook g1, rook g2, rook g3, rook g2, rook g1, and up and down with the rook, forcing his king to take him. Or that's it, perpetual check. That happens in this position.
Amazing. So, to
Fundamental picture about your king, and your king is trapped. Try to not affect on his pawn, which provides complete choke over our king and that rook. So do not touch the lion. Keep him
okay.
there.
Okay, so I start with the rook to a6.
Exactly.
Okay,
That is
that was correct. And instead of what I said b5, he goes to d5. And now I just go to a5, again checking him.
I'm not sure which check is better, a5 or d6. Probably both of these checks works.
Yeah.
But I will, as I said, try to cut off this part of the board, that 7th and 8th rank. That is stable rook pawn against the king.
Okay.
Try to on the
Okay.
from the 6th to 1st rank.
Hmm.
Not allow any solution for the king to cover that protection from the and cover that 2nd rank. This is the way. At the end, you will make a cage, and you will make a barrier at the end file that will be g6 and g5 squares, and there is a 3 times repetition. So now g6, still you cannot take, right? And
g6, like here, it needs to be g5 now, right?
And now G5,
And now here.
exactly.
And the game ended peacefully. Okay. So basically this was not a stalemate, but more perpetual, right?
Perpetual or as I said, you have a stalemate without, you do not move his rook. So I said keep that lion in sleep. Just
Okay, this is still good to know, Barland, because I'm still looking really for the stalemate, and I didn't know that here the perpetual also would work. Yeah. So.
rook or just perpetual.
Okay, good. All right. So, and again, yeah, we'll go to the next one. Okay, material is equal, but there's only one move to draw due to the power of white's pawns. You move cowboy. Okay, that's me. Black to play. Okay. So. If I take the bishop, it's check. He needs to get out of the way with the king. And then he has to okay, let me check. So if I take the pawn, he cannot take with the king. Well, he could take with the king. Then I have c7 to run to.
Sometimes this type of position you can solve with deduction system. So just reverse the story and ask yourself what I can do with my pieces. Can I play with the king? Actually, I cannot do nothing about that. And then that ABC with the rook. Rook A8, rook B7, and rook A6. It's also kind of technique how to reach the right solution. Okay, I'm sorry, proceed with your thoughts. I'm listening.
Oh, okay, all right. So I start with my initial one. I take the bishop. If he takes the rook, we have a stalemate. So he is not allowed to take with the pawn. But if he does not take with the pawn, he has to go away with the king.
Go away.
So
On C.
if he goes to c6, yeah, then I could go c7 with the rook. He goes back with the king. I still go back. We would have a perpetual, I think. So can I bring over my king to a7 then? I take. He goes here. I check him. He goes back. What am I missing here? He goes back. I go there with the king. He goes here. Hold on. So it's take, c6, check on c7. He goes back to b6, and I just go to be here. Oh, it's amazing how difficult that is to me, Varland. And I don't know if I'm just bad tonight or if I'm in general bad, but these positions here, they just drive me crazy.
I'm laughing unexpectedly completely for me. You don't have any missing in your calculation. You're right completely.
Yeah.
And,
Okay.
maybe before, because you saw something even more difficult, and that's the problem. So just first view contact will tell you take that, he has to take, or he will lose the game. That's the point. He must take. Otherwise,
yes,
take if he goes somewhere with the king. Rook on the 7th rank has control, and this is problem. Of course, he'll take.
Yes, correct. Okay. So basically this was easy and I just made it difficult for myself, I believe.
Yeah. But okay, it's okay because you go through that process to how to calculate and see.
Okay, I understand. All right. So then we go to the next one. Okay, where am I here? Next one. Okay. So Black's last move was a terrible mistake. Almost any other move wins. Eric spots a forced stalemating sequence. How should we begin? White to play. Okay, is it already stalemate? If the rook is not on the board. Dum dum. Nope, 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 nope. Yes, so I need to get rid of the rook, of course. And how do I do this? Forcing moves checks first. So the only check is e6, check. Then okay, check. If he goes here.
So
check.
that was interesting. Probably the white king was earlier on h2, and you are building some position and painting some picture. Last picture, what you want and how you can tuck with how you can be stuck completely with your king. And that's also kind of art, chess art, to predict and put that trap in front of the opponent choices. So that is also one part of how to become. So this type of position for human eyes are, I believe, much easier because we have that pictures and we can make some fortress. So you can just paint. If you have options, you can paint the some kind of square from e6, e8 to finish that on h8 and h6. That is a cage for the king. As you can see, the king on g6 can't go further and can climb up on f5, h5, and that space from e6 to e8 to h8 to h6 is the space where he's fighting with the rook, and literally you can delete everything else. He can escape from That's
I understand. Yeah, true. So I can always check him either on e6, e7, or e8. So,
exactly. You're not
mm,
giving him any chances to
mm,
go up.
mm,
Also, in the previous
mm,
situation, you literally that space was bigger, but actually
mm,
you can see I will completely cut off his king to run away on some,
yes. Mm,
and that is the way how to
mm,
easy draw. Because if you go on f6,
mm,
immediately you can be in some type of trouble.
mm,
Like so now that, for example, instead of rook e7, rook f6 over row.
mm-hmm. Okay, for me, this is super interesting, Balint, because as I said earlier on, that I'm not experienced with this kind of goal setting. Yeah, usually this is not in my mind that I need to switch modes from trying to checkmate or from escaping with the king, but here it's a totally different goal setting, and that is difficult. And for me also, I'm still.
Is a spark, when
Mhm,
immediately when you count the number of your pieces and material,
mhm,
that is a spark immediately telling you, okay, the last hope, we need to arrange some exit strategy
mhm,
for
mhm,
the king to put him in some unexpected, really ugly situation where he doesn't have any available squares, and also we need to give up from everything else
mm,
immediately when we notice that, oh, that king is out of space.
yeah, just win that half point, right? Mm, okay, so that is all good information, like really, really good, Barland, and I'm so happy that you're here with me tonight because the other courses I was kind of going okay. They were difficult, but I still had ideas and so on. But this is something totally different. So that's really good. Thank you for that. Alrighty.
Thank you, Jan,
So,
for your. I'm enjoying. I'm also learning
mm,
with you some interesting
mm,
position. I know what is necessary, but
mm,
as you said, the arrangement sometimes is more difficult with more options and
mm-hmm.
more if than usually.
Yeah. And what I still have to find or set in my mind is that it's not the stalemate something we're looking for, but it's the perpetual. So the perpetual comes first, and if he doesn't like perpetual, he takes, and then it's stalemate. So both solutions basically are good for me. That is my little help
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Okay. Mm,
Also, instead of that, if you don't want to take, basically
mm,
you just you can close the space where you are, like
mm,
cat games between your in the last situation rook and his king
mm-hmm,
without
mm,
breaking moment, breaking no point of break
mm,
between these two pieces. So recognize that options. This
mm,
is also a tricky story because this is completely lost position for white, and now
mm,
you need so uh, you are you are lost here for
mm,
sure. You have to find the perfect way how to dig last hole where he can
mm.
step and uh, break the leg
How to make
uh,
him blunder? Yes. Mm,
to make him under
mm,
exactly. So
mm,
this situation probably the this anyway. Give me your
mm.
thoughts.
I will, of course. So first I need to take a look at the board. What's happening? I'm in check by the bishop. How can this be drawn? It can be drawn by perpetual or by stalemate.
Perpetual is
Hmm?
the last product of fundamental stalemate. That happens earlier situation, but forget about perpetual.
Okay. So how can I get into a stalemate position here? Look here. At the moment, I think it's bad because I can always run to the first and second rank.
Exactly. That is what you
Hmm?
don't want to do. You know, if you go
Yeah.
there, your king will catch a lot of space, giving no chances to make a trick.
Yes. So
In this
then.
situation, you're playing on the greediness of your opponent and psychology. That is the cool way.
Hmm? Okay, so if I don't like to go to first and second rank, there's only one move here, and that would be e3. But why would e3 be a good move? So he could just go g3 and I lose my rook and the game.
Exactly. So that is the point. That is the how you are tickling your opponent, and that is that tricky evil spark,
Hmm?
which gives chances to arrange the final situation where your king
Hmm?
could be
Okay,
your mate.
and if he takes the rook then on a3, I could go to f4 and am in a stalemate position if he doesn't move the rook away from the third
No, no, no.
rank.
That is
No?
forced. That is forced. The breaking moment is if he take your rook.
Hmm?
If he goes with a greedy choice, probably this game was played on blitz or ballet or maybe in big
Hmm.
side for black. Maybe that was a ballet game
Hmm.
on 30 seconds, 50 seconds,
Yeah.
or
Hmm.
if we have more time, black will recognize
But
trap
but
and
I don't see why it's forced. If he takes my rook, I go to f4. Why is a
no, no,
stay?
you are going first of all on
Yeah.
e3.
Yes, I go to e3. He goes to g3. I go
Mhm.
to f. Ah, yes, yes, yes. Right. Yeah, yeah. You're right. Okay, I forgot that. I thought I'm still in the third rank. Yes. Okay, so yeah, that's nice, really nice, of course.
It's not
So,
bad choice, you are just giving him a bad choice
mm-hmm,
to a ugly decision for
mm-hmm,
him, and that's it. Actually, you are lost, but that skill, that is just additional set skills. Maybe could be really helpful for you.
yeah. And Balint, I notice when I'm in time trouble, I'm greedy. I take everything and hope it's good,
And
and
yeah,
sometimes it's not. Yeah, okay. Yes. Yep.
actually, we think that some pawns or something will change the situation, and that will save
Mm,
us
yeah.
completely. Try to reverse your mindset and
Mm-hmm,
okay.
yeah. And Balint, I like the way he says "da." Okay, super nice. Okay. So that's good then. And yeah, we are going to go to the next position. And it's the first player that I know. It's FM Li Feng Hua. He has a stream. Streams daily. And Balint, I don't know how you are watching the streaming scene, but on Fridays, I think he has a wheel and users can buy a wheel spin, and then he has something like push-ups, drinking a shot, or something that he has to do, and then play chess afterwards. It's kind of
You're,
funny and very entertaining.
maybe you'll do that next time, right?
No.
You Yes, interesting ideas.
Yeah.
We need.
Okay, so we have two notoriously tricky players, Lifong and Eric. And Eric reaches an endgame without losing his bishop to any cheeky bh6 bh6, brilliant sees from Lefong. Now he solves a stalemate in one puzzle. Okay, black to play, it's stalemate in one. Oh, basically that's easy, I think. Isn't it f6?
I think it is.
He can just take and it's stalemate. Yeah, and if he goes out of the way, I take the rook and win. Yeah, so that is kind of okay. Balint, if you can see me,
I see you, and
I solved the second one. Woohoo! Okay, nice. Okay, next one. Okay, materialism. The fourth of GM Rosen 7's deadly chess sins. This greedy move has left Black's king trapped and gave Eric the opportunity to force the draw. Can you spot it? Black to play. How can I force the draw here? Okay. My first idea would be to take the pawn on f2. Check. So he has to run away or take. If he takes, it's a stalemate. If he runs away,
no space.
yeah, let's take a look where he could go to. If he goes to h3, I take on h2. And then he has to take stalemate. If he goes to...
Or you can just close that space and imagine when you take on f2 and if he goes on g1. Yes, you can give him check on f1, but you can close the space on the second rank. And actually you can tell yourself like this: if he take my rook, that is stalemate. And if you don't want to take that rook, we are playing that cat-mouse game between the rook and king, and everything else is not important.
Balint, question. Isn't it exactly the same as this? Here it was the same, wasn't it? Just without pawns now. Do you get what I mean?
I understand, yeah.
Okay, so I think it's exactly the same. I just take, and then he either takes my rook, or we have this forever ongoing check.
Exactly, forever.
Okay.
E6, E7, and E8.
Nice. And Balint, just in case you can see me, I solved the third puzzle. Woo!
Let's go.
Okay. Nice. I'm on a streak. Okay, so there's other moves that probably draw, but it's messy. We have only one way to stalemate. What would Eric play? It's white to play. Okay. Again, I'd say this is super easy, and it is rook takes g3.
This park is our king, no space for him. Sometimes, as you saw in the previous situation, the initiation could start from his king, and he's giving some pieces to the opponent, gives some to make a draw, or in this situation you are forcing check, king has to take draw.
Lovely. And this becomes a running gag. Balint, just in case that you can see me, I just solved the fourth puzzle. Okay, so next variation. Contrary to the usernames, Rosen and Wizard 98, it's in fact Eric who's the wizard. as he pulls out a crazy forced combination. Calculate, calculate, calculate. Oh, that's my specialty. White to play. Okay, if my rook is not here, I'm stalemate. Okay, that is good to know. So I need to get rid of the rook.
Also, the lion in this case is again is black rook. You are trying to not touch him, to move somewhere. Anyway, if he goes on the 4th rank, that is still stalemate. But if he goes on the G file somewhere, he can lose the game.
Again, forcing, trying checks first. So I'll check him. H7. Check. Only one square to go to. It's G5.
Okay.
And if he goes G5, I probably need to keep on checking him. It is H5. He takes with the pawn or the rook. It's stalemate, so he needs to go away. And the only two squares are F4 and F6.
Exactly.
If he goes to F6, let's start with F6 first. I'm out of check. No, I'm not out of checks. I can check him by taking the pawn on F5. If he takes, it's stalemate. We're happy. And if he doesn't take, I can take the pawn on F3. Then we are one pawn down. And the rook is out of the mating. Well, can I still mate if I don't take the pawn? He is here, and I can still check him, and I can probably check him forever.
And cutting off the place where to go, killing all these pieces and destroying the walls. Still,
So basically, I think it would be a mistake if I then take F5 check, and he goes out of the way either to the G file or E file. And if I take F3, it would be a mistake. Then I need to keep on checking forever. That would be my solution here.
but even imagine, yeah, that like in war, imagine the worst scenario and expect the best one. Even if you goes on, if you take the pawns on F5, F3, if he takes on F3 and try to imagine if he takes your rook on F3, then still his king gives the protection for his rook, and there is a stalemate. Even in that the worst case, you have completely control.
Okay, let's see. So I go here, check. That's correct. Go here, check. I go here, check. And now I would just keep on checking him. Check. No, that was incorrect. Still take. Now it's materially drawn pawn endgame. You're a wizard, Eric. Why is it materially drawn pawn endgame? Oh, I'm unfamiliar with that. For me, he's still a pawn up, and it's not the drawn pawn endgame.
Take his pawn on h4, right?
Say it again, sorry.
You can take the h4 pawn is vulnerable, and
Yeah, but if I take here next, we had this one here. We take, yeah, and then I cannot. Well, take a look.
mention that
Yes.
if you bring the king on f3, he's still giving protection for the rook. And if he move the rook, the problem is h4 is super vulnerable.
Yes, correct. Yes, you are correct. Yes. Okay.
Good one. Yeah. Let's see what is
Yeah, I got it.
behind the door.
I first like to check what would have happened if I would have kept on checking him. So I just go back one move or few moves. Here, no, to this one. I shortly go to the engine because I'm always curious and too lazy to calculate it myself, of course. So this is draw now.
He will take that, Jan.
Hmm?
He will take. You took his last protector for the rook. That's the point. So you literally erased.
Yes. The stalemate is gone now. Yeah, true. Balint. Yes, we had that earlier on. True. Yes.
Do not touch the lion.
Yes, correct. Yeah, good.
Or some allies.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, Balint, I don't know about you, but for me it would be perfectly fine if we solve until the next chapter and then it's nighttime for me.
4%,
Yeah.
right? Maybe some.
Okay.
How much do we have? 5 of them? Or
Chapters?
yeah,
Even more.
even more.
Yeah, so it maybe needs to take a part 2 or part 3 of
I
these
thought
sessions.
finish with part 2, but if it's too long,
yeah,
and maybe late for you,
yeah,
five.
Okay, so let's take these here and then we'll see. Okay, so next variation.
We'll see.
How is it that Eric is always paired against the greedy ones? How does he punish this cardinal sin? Black to play. Okay.
So again, as you see, what is the fundamental problem for white? Who is the lion?
The rook on f7 again.
Again,
I
to do not affect on the from the 6 to 8 rank. Just cat mouse games between rook and his king.
King, true. So I would start with h4. He needs to go up, and then we have the same as in the position before, I think.
You have to find a way to stop his transition on some very important square. So in this situation, the how to say where do we need to put some invisible cage is from the squares h4, e4, e1 and h1. that is our invisible squares. And if you
Mhm.
let the white king
Mhm.
from that square, basically you will lose the game. If he reach the h5, he's going down, and like a snake,
Mhm.
h5, g7, f8, and he will, with reason, cover that e7 square, seventh
Mhm.
diagonal. And rook will not give any more protection for a7 pawn, getting a chance to free up that choke, and king have a space. Our king have a space. Activating him, we are lost 3 or 4. So basically, you must keep that king in that cage, invisible
And
cage.
how do I do that?
Exactly.
Okay, so with all that you said, I think still h4 is the best move.
The only one.
Hmm.
Why rook
Oh,
g8?
no, it's an alternative. So there is another one. Interesting.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, probably h3.
No.
No,
Check. Check. No. Must be check.
must be check. Okay, then the only other way is g1. That's
Exactly.
the only one. Okay. So,
Must
okay,
be
that's
check
correct.
because
But now can he escape?
and now you
Well, I have to keep on checking, I believe. So,
have to.
check. Incorrect. Ah, there's also Balint, this is what happens very, very often. That there's this old saying, if you see a good move, check for a better move. Yeah, and I,
About that, like in with dualism philosophy, the knight can go left and right or right and left. He will end up on the same square. Rook, you can use him from left or right. Every time you have two choices.
mhm,
Usually,
mhm.
give a check. With the rook, no 3 options or more options like with a queen.
Yes.
But rook
Mhm.
are specific about that. I forgot the uh, king will not be capable to go out from the H file. That is the reason why this is also draw.
Yes, true. Yes, correct. Yeah, I get it now. Mm. And this is
Him?
something that I see for maybe the second time in my life. I have no experience. Okay. Okay, this checks will either continue until repetition or we reach stalemate. Yes, absolutely. Okay, so next, then here first we have to repeat this one. And again, check. And we're good. White accepts his fate, takes the rook and its stalemate on the board again. Okay, next one. Like a rabbit from a hat, a terrible blunder late in the game allows Eric to pull a draw out of thin air. White to play. And I think it's quite easy because we had this already. It should be rook e3.
Jan, I'm not seeing your hands up when you solve the.
I was still checking if that's really the correct move, so you will see it in a second. I moved,
I
and
need.
now ballot now. Woohoo!
Okay.
Okay, that was really easy. It was the fifth correct or the fourth correct one right now. Okay, next one. Eric's opponents are constantly focused on material, and once again he finds a way to punish them. Black to play. What's happening here?
So the fun part about these checks, like in previous situation, is if you find some stubborn opponent and he's in that mode. I
I miss everything and I was winning all the time, and he cannot uh, mm, he cannot delete the past from that game.
Mm-hmm.
And basically he decides to, anyway, I will play for the queen. You can take the rook or take the queen in the previous situation. Okay, I will win the game, so no problem. And at the end, that is the final moment when he needs to, I
Mhm.
have to take stalemate. That
Mhm.
is draw.
Okay. So I'll check then here. Okay, so what's happening? We are already in a stalemate position if the rook is gone from the board. How do I get rid of this? So basically, I think I can already check him forever.
Question is where you will give it.
I would go for b3.
Very, very important fact. Check on c8 or b3, because in one moment zigzag maneuver you'll be in trouble, and you must find a way how to stop the king progress, because king can go out and hide behind his rook. Of course, that is the lion. So the breaking moment is when he reached the c5 square. He cannot push that further. He cannot go on c6, and that is some invisible electrician
Yeah, it's
which
a
will.
fence, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So he needs to go back. The
Yeah.
c5 is the breaking moment when you
But
give him.
Balint, why is it a difference if I play c8 or b3? I give you my
Because
thoughts. So if I go c8, he can go d2.
no, he will go up. He wants to wake up his lion and activate him. Immediately, if he do that, he's breaking that stalemate point, stalemate moment. So immediately,
So okay. So okay. So then my rook basically would. Yeah, Balint, then my rook would be in between his rook and king, and that would be the problem, right?
the problem is he will reach the c5 square, and he will cover himself with the rook, trying to spend that rook, to delete that rook, breaking the stalemate moment.
I don't see that.
Rook c8, king b4,
Hold on.
rook
Oh,
a8,
hold on. So it's rook c8. It's
rook
king b4.
b4. He's going up.
Yeah. Then
It
it's
is easy solution. You will just give him a rook c2 check and rook c1, rook c2, rook c1, rook c2. There is a fortress for him. No breaking moment. So he's going up. He wants a freedom and more space for his king. King b4.
then I would
You have to give a check
yeah.
on b8. If you give a check c4, where is the catch?
He takes with the pawn and the stalemate is gone.
And d4 is not protected anymore.
Yeah, again. Okay.
And he's going up, so you have to give check on b8. From b4,
He
his
now
king.
goes to c5.
Exactly. And when you give him a check on for example, c8, his lion will be activated rook c6. And it's over.
Yes, very interesting.
Moment without forced move, you cannot arrange anymore that choke for the black king, and he'll be in trouble. You will give space. You can push d4, forcing him to take on e4, and anyway, so much pawns goes to.
Yes. Okay. Good. So I'd say half a puzzle. Okay.
But the point about I didn't finish the point was you are pushing his king until c5 square, and when you give him a check on b5, he cannot go further, because if he goes on c6, you will give him again check on b6.
Yes, and he's forced to take. Yeah.
Or you will take his rook and win the game. That is what happens with stubborn opponents, and how they are losing the games. So
Yes.
just don't want to accept that what was before and what is now, and forcing until the abnormal limits.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, White's last move has given us a draw. Better was rook b7. Okay, how do we force a draw here? I need to go back to the original position.
Rook b7.
Okay, here we go. How do we force a draw here? Black to play. Again, we have the stalemate position. We need to get rid of our rook.
White rook is lion. We are trying to not. And that's it. Just with the king.
Yeah, and again, we usually start with a check. So I take the pawn.
Exactly.
Okay, so here. And I'd like to keep on checking. Two options, d7 and c6. So c6 check, he goes to, let's say, e5. I go to e6. He goes to, and we run around that pawn forever.
I believe the both solution are good for you. But maybe for some deep reason we need to be specific.
One is better, right? Yeah. So
usually that is the rule. One is better.
Yeah, I just go for the d7 square. We see was correct. Check. 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 Ah, now it's interesting. No, it's not. We just keep running around the pawn and the rook. Balin, this is one of the funniest things I saw on the chessboard. Like you run around the pawn, then we run around the rook. So that was funny to me. I hope that's okay. So we now have 5.5. And we are getting the final position of the knight. And White's last move was impressively bad. I believe everybody hears that. Is happy to hear that if someone says, well, that was impressively bad. They not only missed mate in 1, but they've taken the g5 square away from our king. g5 is here, and okay, so who is now trapped? Eric doesn't need a further invitation. He sees a stalemate in 1. What does he play immediately? Of course, he has to play something with the rook, and that is so easy, Balint, that I cannot stop playing it immediately. So, ta-da! Congratulations, hard work pays off. You finished learning the chapter. Balint, we spent 2.5 hours on 2, 4, 6, 7. Yeah, let's make it like 17 positions, I'd say. Whew. For me, it was really hard work. And
Conclusion chess is not easy.
yeah. So that was really nice. And to me, it was an experience how this would work. I didn't know what to expect. And the fun part to me is always when I open these courses by Chessable, I really don't know what to expect. And then you need to find your way into it and understand how is it meant and everything. And so that was good from the course's point of view. I think it's a really nice course. It is free, and well, whoever might watch the video later on, just get it. Again, it's free, and it challenges you, and you probably become a better chess player once you understood it and played through it. And for me, it was so valuable to have you on the side or by my side, Balint, especially when I'm stuck. I kind of, have trouble sometimes to understand why this or why that. And then you see I do the calculations. Then I have this one idea in my mind, but it's not good. I cannot get out of that idea. And so it's good if you can point me to other directions. That always good to have.
Try to ask yourself the right questions, and
yes, true. Mm-hmm.
That is the concept how you can start up with some idea.
Alrighty. So, Balint, final words, I guess, go to you. And what are your findings of our session?
Yeah, I enjoy a lot. I hope you will be better in your next games, upcoming tournaments and games in Chess Dojo. So
hopefully,
it was, as you said, unexpected, and I enjoy as you do. As you saw, some of these tasks was very, very difficult, and we need to go really deep to understand them. Anyway, that was really fun and really nice course. I need to give a big plus and recommendation for this one. So very, very nice to involve some imagination and creativity in some really ugly and bad situation and position.
Nice words for the end. Alrighty. So, thank you, everyone. Balint and I, we will probably have a private chat once we're off. And so I shut down the stream and wish everyone a good night. In Germany, I wish a happy holiday tomorrow and sleep well and good night. Righty,
Good
bye-bye.
night, Chess.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.